listening to Mixed Results Pot Tots with Nick and Kevin, rolling dice, flipping cards, and diving deep into your favorite stories. Hey!
And welcome to the Mixed Results Podcast. I am Kevin with Mixed Gaming 190 and my co-host
Nick with Unexpected Results MTG, and our guest today, Adam, Lot Unfinished Projects, aka and from Fort Safe for Good.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today, Adam.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Just so you know, when I met them in person in Vegas, I dragged them into a game of conspiracy, and it was the most fun we had while cutting a game off short.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was fun taking the crown.
It was a blast
monarch.
trying to speed run a conspiracy game and have really fun moments in the meantime. And I've never had more fun playing a format of Magic that I had never played before.
Yeah. And with that many people too.
Yeah.
I don't. That's usually how many you have, or is it smaller groups?
When you run conspiracy, generally, however many people you have playing, is the group that you go into. So it could be you've got a group of 4. You've got a group of 12.
Oh my gosh, that's fun though. Well, Adam, we already know your name, but what's your age, and where are you from?
I'll start with where I'm from. So I am based out of Indianapolis. So we are kind of one of the tabletop gaming capitals of the world because we have like Gen Con. And for some reason, we found this out. We have like more game stores per person than most places in the United States. So it's kind of packed here. But I am 38. Yeah, kind of an old when it comes to the Magic community around here.
No.
See, I think every guest we've had on has been around my age or maybe a little bit older. We've had a few young guns on here, but everybody's been older than Kevin.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a youngster. I'm the young one of the group.
So were you born and raised in Indianapolis?
No, like most of my life, it is kind of a whirlwind of like bouncing from place. So I started out in Ohio, like northern Ohio area. And then for the longest period of time, I lived in California, and then bounced back over here to Indianapolis and was like, why are there so many white people? Because you're going from like 50% Hispanic, 50% everybody else to Indianapolis, which is very white. I'll just say it that way.
I'm sure. Midwest can be like that sometimes. What part of California did you live in?
Rancho Cucamonga.
What?
Okay, so not too far away from me.
Oh, where are you at currently?
I'm in Ventura.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in Utah.
Yes, he did say Rancho Cucamonga.
It is a very fun thing to say.
Ranch capital of the world.
I used to work for a sports retailer, and I was the big disc golf guy in the store. I knew everything about disc golf, and the biggest disc golf company is from Rancho Cucamonga. That's where they're based out of. So whenever I had to like do an invoice or give them a call, their address always pops up, and it just makes me giggle every time.
So when we came back to Indiana, it was around the time that Next Friday came out. So people thought it was a fake place because of Next Friday. Because they're like, that's from that movie. That's that fake town in California from that movie. I'm like, no, it's real. It's just goofy. That's why they picked it.
Just goofy.
One of my favorite movies growing up with my family was Encino Man. And I was from Southern California my whole life, and I didn't believe Encino was a real place. So I was just like, I thought Encino was another word for caveman for the longest time.
All these silly names.
Well, what was like? You said life was pretty chaotic growing up because you were moving from Ohio to California to Indianapolis. What was like growing up? Did you have siblings? What kind of activities did you do while moving across country?
So my siblings and I we have kind of a weird mixed family. Both my brother and sister are older and black. They're both adopted. So going from one place to another, it's kind of interesting to see like when you have a blended family, how different places treat you. But it wasn't that crazy. My mom is a choir teacher. slash music teacher for a bunch of different schools. And my dad was an instrument repair guy when we were growing up. So it was a very musical experience going from place
Yeah.
to place. But California, as you know, is very expensive. So our family decided to move back to the Midwest.
Unfortunately, I know it all too well. I know it all too well. It will never change. It'll just get more pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Were you forced to learn or play an instrument with your family being so musical?
I wouldn't say forced. The only thing I was forced to do was get into choir, which I suck at singing, so terrible. I am a percussionist, so I like to bang on shit with sticks.
Nice.
Best thing to do, just go ham on some drums.
I like it.
I, believe it or not, was once in a choir as well. My best friend in second grade joined the school choir, and I wanted to hang out with my best friend and the girls that were going to choir after. And I shortly realized that I did not want to be there. And my mom made me go up to my choir teacher and told her I wanted to quit. It was great. Very powerful memory growing up.
Oh yeah.
I begged my mom to let me join choir, and then begged my mom after the first day to take me out.
Rough.
That's always the experience.
Yeah,
I want to start this. No, I didn't. I didn't want this at
No,
all.
no, not anymore.
I didn't want it for the reasons I should have.
Yeah. Well, Adam, let's get into some of your content. What was your first ever video, and how do you feel about it now?
So my first ever video was just super simple. I had just made a Deathstroke mask on my K1 Creality printer, which is an FDM printer. It failed, but still completed. And so it's just me walking up to the printer, grabbing the mask off and turning it over and saying, it loves to make spaghetti, as you just see the filament from the bottom side of the mask just all over the place. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of that because it's not so much a you're always going to get better at things that you put your time and effort into, but the hardest step for anything is actually putting yourself out there. Like to start something is honestly the scariest thing in the world because you don't know if you are going to succeed or if people will like something. And people thought it was funny, and I started making 3D printing content and some Warhammer painting stuff and moved into Magic, and yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Nice.
Did you ever expect people to connect with your content the way they have?
Oh God, no. I thought I was going to be just some random person screaming into the internet.
What was your goals when you like first got into it? Like when you first made that video, what was your thought? What was why were you putting that video out?
So the reason why I wanted to put that out there was to build myself up personally a little bit, because I think everybody has a little bit of a problem hearing themselves, speaking to a camera, and getting into that mindset. And so it was I need to build a skill that allows me to communicate with people better. And at the time, I was trying to go into a management position at ADT, at the company I'd worked for at the time. It allowed me to kind of build up that speaking technique so that I could present to a bunch of people, in a giant meeting, tell people what they need to do in order to kind of improve and go forward that way. Because I think everybody, if you're not doing it, you may have the stutters, you may speed up way too much when you're talking and kind of blow through things. That nervousness will kick in, and you'll stumble over your words even if you don't really intend to. So it's all about that self-improvement.
Self-improvement and stage fright. Nick and I have talked about it multiple times of us just making so many recordings of our announcements constantly.
It's funny because I have like the reverse thing happen for me. I feel so much more comfortable and I'm more fluid in my talking and more now I'm stumbling over words, of course. But I'm better when I'm talking to a person, whereas when I'm trying to, I know what I'm going to say when I make a video, but then I go to record myself saying it and I can't get through 3 words. And it's like, hello, what's going on here?
Mhm.
But meanwhile, when I'm on the podcast or I'm just hanging out in a live talking to people, it's way more fluid, and it's a
Yeah.
struggle for me. So it's interesting to hear the reverse.
Yeah, it's amazing how many bloopers you have for a 30-second video. Got like 30 minutes of bloopers of you trying to like sound out words that you 100% know how to pronounce.
Oh, buddy, I went through my phone because it was low on storage and got to go through all those times where I've hit pause and was just like, it's
Ju-
after all my stutters, you hear me at the end of my video as I'm cutting it going,
I love those. I love the just random stuff
Mhm.
where it's just like, oh, what did I do there?
if it weren't for my low storage, maybe I would have clipped them all together and put them out, but I didn't. I
Yeah.
needed the storage.
Yeah. Well, in your content journey, has there ever been a point where you almost quit?
Uh, so when I was doing a lot more of like the Warhammer painting stuff, there was a point where I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. Um, I had been doing it for about 6 months at the time.
Mhm.
We were going to Gen Con and talking to people and interviewing people. Uh, I actually got to talk to the one of the lead designers of Starfinder Second Edition when that was, previewed the year before it came out, and there were some things that were doing really good, but I was stuck in that like 1,000 to 2,000 range when you've been doing it for about 6 months and you see people rocket above you that just started like 2 days ago. It gets pretty disheartening, and you're like, are people paying for views? Are people like making something that what am I even doing here? And then when that was happening, uh, I kind of had to like stop and take a little break for myself and see if it was something that I wanted to continue. So,
Been there, felt that.
Yep.
mhm,
I think we all probably
That's
felt like that too, sometime in our
yeah.
our
And I'll
journey.
I'll say this, 100%, if you're continuing to do TikTok or Instagram or anything like that, because right now I'm in that level on Instagram where it's like, I need to remember to keep on doing it over there because it's going to grow, it's going to build.
Hmm.
I stopped looking at my views on TikTok, or not my views, but my followers on TikTok. And I looked over after Bigger Gayer was like, congratulations early on hitting 20K. And I'm like, what? And I look over and I'm like, that feels really awkward because you're like, what am I doing? What did I do?
yeah.
How? How?
You're doing a lot, buddy. I mean,
Hmm.
you're being such a huge pillar of the community with all your fundraising you've done through Fort Save for Good in, very little to no notice at all, and making really positive experiences for people who not only donated but supported but also needed the help. So
Hmm.
I think there's plenty of reason for it.
Yep. Yes.
What sparked for your passion for gaming and all things nerdy? You talked about Warhammer. We know that you do some TTRPG events. What kind of sparked your passion?
I blame the ADD mainly, but I have been playing board games and card games since I was like 7 or 8. Uh, I actually used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh with my current wife.
Mm.
She is also into Magic Shiny Disco Bomb. I love her to death. But I've been surrounded, and luckily enough, I've been surrounded with a bunch of people that are open and accepting of gaming, and that's kind of our family bonding for some stuff when I was a kid. But I think mainly it's the thievery that got me into gaming.
Mm. Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, Portal Three Kingdoms was coming out, and they had some at Meyer, and so I looked at it, and I ended up shoplifting some magic packs from them when I was a really little kid. But the artwork got me into it. I was like, "This looks so cool." I had never heard anything like of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms which Portal 3 was based off of.
Mm.
And I also got caught doing that, so never shoplift. I got banned from that mire later on as a little kid getting yelled at. Uh, but it was more of the like seeing the artwork really drew me into Magic, and that honestly opened it up for everything else.
I love it.
So a shoplifting as a child led to your love for Magic the Gathering.
My life of crime.
Growing
See,
up, I'll go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was kind of like the same way. Obviously, I didn't steal magic cards. I didn't have a
Well.
cool story like that. Like I wasn't some early badass Magic Gathering player like you. You were playing for Auntie early on, but I got introduced when I was in elementary school because my best friend's older brother had cards, and we'd play kitchen table slot Magic where we didn't know what we were doing. We are just putting the cards on and saying they did things. But I just love the art, and continuing on going to comic stores with my dad and my brothers. If I ever had any extra money, I would buy a pack. And I was never playing the game, but I loved the cards so much. So very similar.
I got into it like 10 years ago, so nothing crazy. Sorry, nothing like that.
What are you talking about? You're like prime teenage years. You were doing all the hoodlum stuff.
Doing all the hoodlum stuff. Yeah. Speaking of the games, my family is super big into games too. We constantly get new games. We have a certain card brand of cards that we really love. What card game and board game is your favorite between you and your family?
So when it's not something like Magic, if we're talking strictly party games, stuff like that, I have a soft spot in my heart for Red Flags. If you guys have ever played that, it is a great party game. Here's the description. Let's just say we're setting up mixed on a date with somebody. You put down 2 green flags for somebody. So it's like, it's a vampire, the sexy kind, and they can take you to any place in the world in an instant. Perfect person for mixed. And then somebody else comes over and ruins it with a red flag. Sadly, they only speak in Valley Girl tones. And Mix's job is to pick out the best date, or at least the least bad date that they would want to go out on.
I like that. That sounds fun.
It'd be fun to play.
It is one that's it feels like it should be it can get as bad as a Cards Against Humanity in terms of jokiness with your friends, but it can also be a little more tame, and you kind of, it's fun to like put out like, what do we know our friends are into? What would they be into? Also, if somebody gets up and leaves for 20 minutes while it's their turn to decide, that's when you get to rig the deck and pull out all the like, is actually 2 kids in a trench coat, 8 years old, over 90, all the terrible ones.
Yeah. I love that.
What was your worst, or I don't want to say, what was your favorite out of that? Like, what did you get?
So out of all of them, the best ones are always kind of forgettable because they're the least bad, but the worst one was, I don't know why it's a white flag, but they were just trying to ruin my day on it. It was the current president of the United States. And then is super in love with you, meaning like clingy stalker. And then also is like 89 years old. And I'm like, nope, that's why? Never.
Do they have the blank cards like Cards Against Humanities where you? Oh yes.
Those are always fun to add in.
That's really cool.
Must adds.
But you talked about that you were into TTRPGs. What is your favorite class, and what's your favorite character that you've made?
So, I generally right now my table is running Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so there are some similar classes, but they're not all the same for the standard D&D classes. But I do love bards. Bards are my favorite class, and I got to play this guy recently. He is a goblin bard named Plez.
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 Mhm.
The joke is that he'll make really terrible jokes. I have like a book of the worst dad jokes you could think of.
Yes.
Just really horrendous jokes, the best
Mhm.
kind. Not, PG horrendous, not like R horrendous.
Mhm.
And the joke is people turning to him and just going, "Please stop," over and over again. He has a Pathfinder Second Edition Goblin thing where his bones are made out of cartilage, and he doesn't take falling damage, and he actually bounces up like a bouncy ball. Um,
That's really cool.
and he has a song about how he's been kicked off a mountain before.
Oh, that's so fun.
I miss TTRPGs so much. This is exactly why I need to get back into playing them.
Play
There's a
all of
reason.
them and steal from all of them.
Mhm. Ah,
Do you prefer like Pathfinder or D&D? Do you have a preference?
I would say I definitely prefer Second Edition Pathfinder, but I play all of them. It's one of those things where I have some theater kids that I play Daggerheart with.
mhm.
I have some more serious people that play D&D 5e, and then of course my super crunchy weekly group which plays Pathfinder. And I will say this, if you are a person who only plays D&D, play other games because then you can steal the best parts of them and bring them back with you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
is Daggerheart? I haven't actually talked to anybody who's played it.
Yeah.
It is, I will say this, and this is why I describe that group as theater kids. It is very much no rules, just feelings. So if you have a story beat that you want to try and role play with your game master, uh, it is very fluid. It will go into different places that you really can't do with a standard like D20 dice roll because
Mm.
it's like I want to inspire hope in somebody else. So I'm going to try and monologue to them levels of role playing rather than I want to try and pat the guy on the shoulder and give him a spiritual boost.
An
There you
attaboy.
go. Nat 20. Nat 20 attaboy.
Yeah.
Not 20 attaboy.
You like it. That's good though.
But you,
That's a lot of people struggle with that in DTRPGs. Or just any like a big part of it is the talking and the role playing. So it's good that it makes it fluid or it makes it more fluid.
you host and plan one shots at conventions. You've actually got a big one coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect?
Sure. So if you want to go ahead and pop the little poster up on the screen,
Hmm.
it sets the ambiance for the one shot. I run a setting that I like to call Major League Dungeon. It is a live televised sports dungeon. So we are talking, you are going to be like cheering crowd. There are fifth man mechanics. So, you can get the crowd's fervor in order to help you with rolls.
Mm.
You have the ability to kind of, duck dodge and also sell out to the crowd.
I love
So
that.
we've got certain things that are like branded items, like a Nerf lance. That if you take somebody out with the Nerf lance, you can then shill to the audience and sell it for extra points.
That's
I love
cool.
that.
And then this year, the big bad of the dungeon is going to be a skill challenge combat where the teams are racing up a version of the aggro crag from Nickelodeon Guts. That might
That's
be
cool.
that might be over Kevin's head there.
Yeah, a little bit,
Yeah, I
but
think it
yeah,
was.
yeah, cool.
Think about this. Think about a rock climbing wall that
Yes.
you have three kids racing up at the same time. They've got to hit three buttons on their way up, and it's a race. Now imagine that with the rock wall trying to throw you off, while different teams are trying to slow you down, and monsters are attacking your teammates.
Okay. That sounds. The way
Evan,
that was a
the
show.
level of our shows when we were kids, you have no idea. You have no idea.
I may have found a 3D printable Shrine of the Silver Monkey to physically put somebody, not this time, but next year, to have them physically assemble the Shrine of the Silver Monkey at the convention.
Oh, this was like a kids game show on Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's like imagine Wipeout or you probably don't know what Elite Extreme is or whatever the Japanese game show was,
Yeah.
but for American for kids.
I know the
It's
Disney
amazing.
Channel had theirs. They had one.
Did they?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but they had all
Oh, okay.
the kid actors into it. I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember Slime too. Okay, I know some
Okay, there you go.
Nickelodeon stuff.
How many events have you done so far?
Hmm.
So, we
How many events have you done so far?
Hmm.
so we had been running pre-COVID we had been running 6 or 7 different events for that charity. We have been working with another company called First Ones Entertainment. We do their specials every year. We've been doing that post-COVID, and this is actually the first year that, because we have the 501c3 from last Gen Con, this is our first official Fort Save for Good game.
Nice. Congrats.
Golf claps, everybody. Golf claps, everybody. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yep.
Getting into some of the Magic. Talked about it. When did you start playing Magic? Exactly.
So Portal 3 Kingdoms was when I got into like the cards because of course, the thievery. But really getting into it around Prophecy was when we really picked it up and started playing. One of the things that brought me to that was that just striking image of the Avatar of Woe, holding the scythe, that kind of just very dark visual look of it. But that's when I really started getting into Magic and kind of falling in love with the story as they built up to Apocalypse.
I don't know any
Funny
of those
that you
stories
mentioned-
past before that. So
It's funny you mentioned Avatar Woe because that is like the strongest card I remember from me playing on the kitchen table with my best friend in elementary school. He's got Avatar Woe, I got Avatar of Might. His Woe could just tap and destroy my Might, and that was not cool.
The early Magic had a very fluid story going from set to set. It was back when I was a kid, it was great because we used to get fat packs that had an actual book in them. So we got a paperback book. It was something that you pick up for like, $5 paperback book if you were getting it outside of it. But we had this great story of a hero and his crew traveling from place to place, fighting off the Phyrexians, trying to figure out how to stop it. And it ended with not necessarily a multiversal reset, but the first stopping of the Phyrexians.
that's really cool.
Yep.
When Magic really cared about their stories and the scenes they were setting up.
Yeah.
Now it's just mixed mosh madness.
We can hope that they'll do it.
Yeah.
So play-wise, we mentioned a little bit earlier about the conspiracy draft. Leading into the podcast, we talked a little bit about Arch Enemy. So obviously, you play some other formats in more of like the I would guess convention space, but do you only play Commander when it comes to paper, or do you have interest in other formats?
Actually, tomorrow night, I'm going to do something really fun. So I have fallen in love with the draft night boxes
Yeah.
because I feel like these are such a good experience for people to get them into drafting and to learn how to build a Magic deck on the fly. So we've got some new players that are at our LGS, and I have convinced them to do a draft night draft with me, a pick 2 draft, which is really fun, really fast. If you get a chance to do it, do it. But this is a little special because I'm not bringing Lorwyn. They have been pre-warned, but I have made an Unfinity
Yes.
draft night box. The stuff down below is the lands and all that pre-ready to go, so I can just chuck it in my bag and we can have a nice little drafting experience.
That'll be fun.
Unsets are the best.
Oh yes, I absolutely adore unsets. I'm sad that we're probably not going to get another one for another like 5 or 6 years, but
Mm-hmm.
if Mark Rosewater is still his goofy self, we'll get more.
Evan, you haven't had a chance to do an event, have you?
No, I haven't. I remember when Infinity was coming out, but wasn't it like late or was having problems? So I never got into it. No, but I'd seen the cards. They're funny. Like the raffle tickets, put the stickers on the card. You have to rip up a card. I love it.
Well, it's also one of the places that they have said out loud, we're testing mechanics that we don't think would fit in any other Magic set to see if people like it, to see if people have fun with it. For example, in the first Mirrodin set, there was a card called Krark's Thumb, which doubled your flips and gave you advantage on coin flips. Because in early Magic, coin flips were a lot bigger than they are now. There were whole decks based around coin flipping. Well, in Unstable, I want to say, it's either Unstable or Unhinged, they brought in Krark's Other Thumb, because he's the kind of goblin that would lose his thumb in a bet and say double or nothing. And that doubled all of your dice rolls, because in that set, there were a lot of dice rolling. And as we know, when they released the D&D sets, they're like, hey, we're going to have people roll a lot of dice. So they brought back that similar mechanic of dice rolling. And now we have Will. Will is a dice doubler.
And from
I think also
Infinity?
Barbarian class. No, not Infinity. In Adventure in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh.
I believe the Barbarian class was a dice doubler, and Will was a dice doubler.
The unsets had such interesting, like, fun, interactive ways to get beyond regular Magic too. Just felt like you were playing more of a mini game instead of a Magic card game. I loved when they had the Nerf card where you actually got a Nerf blaster. My LGS actually had Nerf blasters ready to go for us. It was amazing.
I am running a Demir Phoebe deck, which is Deadpool before Deadpool, because she takes their text box and staples it onto the bottom of hers. So she literally gets Deadpool's ability, but it's a activated ability rather than a triggered ability. And you steal their text box, and they just become a plain creature with no flavor text, no rules text, nothing. Just steal it.
I love that.
That's fun.
Unfortunately, right now I'm too old to have Enter the Dungeon in that deck, but that's another one where you would shuffle up your deck and go beneath the table to play a mini game of 5 HP Magic below the table.
That's so cool.
And this deck does have my favorite Magic moment of all time. It has a chitty face in it, and I've gotten it onto the table every time I've played the deck. If you don't know, Cheaty Face, you can put it onto the table, and if it doesn't get caught, you can keep it. But if it lasts a turn, basically you sneak it onto the table, one turn goes around, if nobody catches it, it's safe.
Yeah. And you can keep doing that too, right? Once it dies, you can still keep doing it.
Yeah. If you can sneak it onto the table.
That's so fun. That's so cool.
When I first got back into playing Magic regularly, one of the guys in our play group had a cube with a bunch of uncards in the cube, and that was a really fun addition, in my opinion, to a cube, was adding some uncards, but some like Cheaty Face, because it just made it a little bit extra fun. I like the conspiracy cards where you can, take this and replace it at another time and stuff like that, or take two cards.
They also have some of the best lands in
Best,
all of Magic.
the best lands.
Oh wow.
So the original Unglued, the original Unset, had the first borderless lands. Well, they weren't fully borderless back then, but they had the first like full art lands, and they didn't bring that back in full force until much, much later. And now everybody loves the full art lands.
That's amazing. Love that art.
I think they should just do full art lands all the time and get rid of the classic lands, in my opinion. But I mean, even like Riftbound, like I really like the runes, the full art runes, and even their special runes are really cool. Still talking a little bit about Magic, and you mentioned one of the commander decks that you play. Who's your favorite commander?
So my favorite commander, I have two that kind of split my heart, and this very much shows that in my old age I've just become a Boros and a mono red player in my heart, even though I have a bunch of different decks to choose from. But Arbazmir is my current favorite multicolor deck because he is a Legends Matter Boros deck, and it's all about having that legendary historic impact tremors in your command zone so you can just speed out the burn for the table. And it's a very fun deck to play. It's got a lot of different lines to win and a lot of good interaction. But my absolutely favorite, and this is the one that has become kind of a signature card and a signature commander for me, is Alexios. Which I don't know if you guys know Alexios, but he gets passed around the table like a drunk frat boy at a party.
Is that the red one? The mono red?
Mono red.
Yeah.
It's to somebody else. They can't sack him. He must attack, and he gets a 1/1 counter on him whenever he passes to the next person.
And it can't attack the owner, too. Can't attack you.
Can't attack the owner. It becomes such a problem for the table. But Magic overall, people have become too safe, in my personal opinion. They don't want to risk anything or start making their plans too early. And Alexios kind of forces that interaction, forces people to get their plan going, or else Alexios is going to roll over the table.
Yep.
And so I don't expect to win with my favorite commander. I expect to have a fun game.
Yeah. Get the chaos ensued.
I do this every once in a while, but one of my least favorite things is when someone goes to attack me like, I'll roll a dice. They don't want to, hurt anybody's feelings by attacking them or anything. I'm always like, attack me. You attack me. just do it.
You coward.
But you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Don't blame it on the dice.
Yeah. The only one you can blame on the dice is the Chaos Dragon, which forces all of your opponents to roll a d20, and whoever rolls lowest, it attacks. So that's not on me. It's on you guys and your poor luck.
Get better at rolling, kid.
Yeah.
Put that die into dice jail. Go grab another one.
I don't have any dice that aren't in dice jail, though. I've run out of dice.
Well, still with Magic. If you could meet any celebrity and play Magic with them, who would it be?
Honestly, I think the one person that I would want to play Magic with, that's a celebrity that I know plays Magic, would be Post Malone. 100%.
Yep.
Like, the fact that he has taken out the 1/1 ring and used it as a token. I'm just like, that's insane, man. If you play Magic like that on stream with somebody, or I believe that was like Commander at Home, I think that was that podcast. But I want to play Magic with that guy because he's probably got some crazy strategies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Be fun to see.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is a piece of cardboard. It is a game piece. You should play it as a game piece, right? Yeah, right. That thing would be in a vault if I had it.
It's artwork is always valued at the last place that it was sold, and it was sold for $2 million. So that thing is not going below that.
Nope.
Gosh,
No, it is not.
crazy.
Mhm.
I love how he called his shot the minute it got announced too. He's like, I'm buying it. You put a price point on it, I'm making it happen. Like, just bring it to me.
Good. Oh, Posty.
al- Along with playing Magic and D&D, you also play some video games. What kind of video games do you like to play?
Right now I'm playing a lot of co-op games with my friends. I have a streamer buddy that I'm playing Monday nights with. We're doing Monster Hunter Rise right now, but we are going to be branching out into other games, like Mecha Chameleon and a couple other fun, just friend slop games is the best way to describe them. But I love how goofy they are.
Mecha Chameleon is
I need to.
popped off. As for how
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
simple it is, it looks. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if you guys have played it yet, but I really want to. It looks super fun.
I have it on Steam, and I tested it out with Shiny Disco Bomb, and it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just like even when you're a hunter, just drawing on like random masks for your character.
hmm I saw a little clip of a bunch of heroes, like the hunter coming out, and then everybody painted themselves as like the DC heroes. The Flash and Superman was standing there in the middle while everybody hopped out. It was fun. It was so cool.
It's
Uh,
amazing how so many games have tried to like perfect prop hunt or make prop hunt like really, really good.
hmm
And I mean, in some aspects, like with the painting, you can kind of go a little crazy. But for the most part, it's such a simple game that just did what everybody who was trying to do with prop hunt. So
Yep.
they're doing really well. Have you ever played RV there yet?
I have not played RV there yet. I want to though. It looks silly.
It's a good
That's
time.
fun.
It's a good time. Me and Kevin and Necromancer played it on stream one time.
hmm
It is chaos.
It
It is
is
chaos.
chaos. Right. Um,
Mm.
you have looking through your content, and as the poster, the picture we have right now, you have a cat. You have 3 cats,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, we have 3 cats. All of them are lovely, lovely rescues. They have all been either dropped on our doorstep or come out of our backyard, which is
Wow.
kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
One of the videos I put up in the first year of doing TikTok was bringing in tomato, which is the one that we got in our backyard when we were growing tomatoes. We saw a cat inside the tomatoes, and I'm like, "That's your name. You're gonna be tomato when I bring you in."
Love that.
We also have a tabby named Onion, and then we have a kind of a calico kind of looking cat named Pepper. They all are very distinct in the fact that they have different tail sizes. One is a little nub, another one's like a half tail, and Tomato is a full tail. So it's like the Wi-Fi symbol going up.
Love that.
Love it. Do you plan on getting any
I was
more, or just if it happens, it happens?
I will say this because I know Disco Bomb is probably watching us right now, but I have no plans of getting an additional cat because there's the rule on pets: never have more pets than you have hands to pet them with.
Okay.
So we have 3. We can have one more, but at this point, we're not looking for another cat. But if something breaks our heart enough, we'll bring in another cat.
Love it.
What's one hidden talent your audience doesn't know about?
Uh, I think I've started putting all of my talents onto this, so I'm trying to think of. That's actually like a difficult one because I've tried to showcase some of the stuff that I can do to encourage other people to do it. But I don't think a lot of people know that I'm actually pretty decent at 3D model design. Not just like CAD work, but like sculpting and getting in there and actually doing the nitty gritty art stuff of it.
Okay. And uh, you're you're talking about like sculpting from just a basic shape.
Yeah, so when you're in something like either Maya, ZBrush, or Blender, you can take a generic shape and then you can either duplicate it, manipulate it, and sculpt it like you would clay. Um,
Okay.
so I am pretty decent when it comes to character model making and stuff like that, where I can make, not things as intricate as you would find on a Hero Forge, but getting pretty damn good at character modeling like that.
Nice.
Very cool.
And you said you
I
make
definitely didn't know.
no. And you said you make deck boxes. What else
Yeah,
doing that?
so I have a failed one around here. Where'd it go? So this is part of a prototype because I want to have a Star Trek deck box done by November that I can give out to people that they can 3D print on their own. So I was making a shuttlecraft deck box from Star Trek: The Next Generation. The front of it is gone at the moment, but it is large enough to fit another whole deck box inside of it.
Nice.
So, and then some.
Oh, that's so cool. And you designed it yourself.
Yep, from scratch, just kind of looking at reference models. That was just basically working out the shapes, but that's the first version before I've gone back over and refined it. Because it's always make sure you can actually like print it and it kind of works first before you go back and make it detailed.
Can I commission you to make me a gnome deck box?
Oh yeah, we could definitely work on a gnome deck box. It just
Yeah.
depends on the style and type that you want. And because in my opinion, with gnomes, you've got very pointy hats. You've got long, luxurious hats, and I'm thinking maybe that's like a screw compartment to put dice in.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yes, I'm so down.
I wish I had a creative brain like this.
Oh no, you don't. I get brain worms at 4:00 in the morning where I have to be like, I have an idea. I need to get it out on paper or else I'm gonna lose it forever.
Oh, that's just nightly insomnia for me. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, wife's in bed. What are you doing? I've got a brain worm. Okay, don't wake me up when you come back to bed.
Getting outside of a little bit of the content, what do you do outside that nobody really knows?
So outside the content world and the creation kind of stuff, we do have the charity that we run, and we have a monthly outreach that we call Love Train. Year to date, we have made over 1,000 meals, and we have had over 350 people come in and get clothing and necessities that they need in order to kind of continue living, week to week. We generally will have it on the third Saturday of every month because that's the point where things like food snap benefits start to run out. So getting an extra meal that can help you through a day or two, getting some new pants, getting new socks and underwear. It's something that we like to do, and that's one of the things that I do outside of it.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
How does it?
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you good.
How is it to run one of those? Like, how? Explain it. So I don't know how to I'm trying to have a hard time wording it.
Yep. So running a charity and running an outreach like that is all about organizing a place that you guys can set up and do it on a regular basis, getting some lovely volunteers that will be able to be there on a week or on a monthly basis to give out food, give out those meals, and just the generous people that will donate clothes to a good cause. Last month, we had somebody who ordered an Amazon shipping crate worth of socks and underwear for larger individuals because not a lot of people donate larger sized underwear and socks, as well as pants. And we got some good sleeping pajamas that came in there. And everything was like gone from that crate. And I want to say the first 15 minutes we were open.
Wow.
But yeah, it's about organizing reaching out and getting to people to build up those connections so that people will be like, yeah, I want to donate, or I can pitch in, a tub of mac and cheese the size of,
Hmm.
a big a big bowl like that of mac and cheese to give to people, or chicken tenders, or things like that.
That's awesome.
It's all about organization and building that community.
I love it.
What got you into charity work, fundraising, and volunteer stuff?
So I told you about a charity that we used to run games with back at Gen Con many, many years ago, pre-COVID. Um, we had our friend John Glick, who ran a charity called Castles and Chemo. We thought it was a good idea to help them out, build them up. Um, and we kind of, during that time, asked if we could be more involved with the charity. But unfortunately, John was very much a I'm running this by myself kind of a person. He had been a cancer survivor at that point, and unfortunately, in 2019, we did lose him. Um, so the charity that he was running and the work that we were kind of, getting up and running kind of fell flat at that point. Unfortunately, life happens. You lose individuals that have a goal, and both my wife and myself felt that we needed to rebuild that organization. Even though we couldn't do it with the original Castles and Chemo bones, we had to start our own thing. But taking those plans and getting that inspiration from our friend and carrying on his legacy was the reason why we were really focusing on building up the charity and kind of starting that.
I'm
Awesome.
sorry for your
Uh,
loss, but that's great. That
yeah.
I always say that we're lucky that he didn't lose to cancer. It's sad that he lost to a drunk driver, but we can say that he beat cancer all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's something a lot of people, in whatever capacity they should be getting involved in some kind of charitable fundraising or volunteer work. I used to work for the YMCA for over 5 years and was a volunteer for their campaign for youth and families, which helped raise funds to give them memberships and access to programs at the YMCA. I was also a volunteer camp counselor for the summer camp program that I went to as a kid, that absolutely changed my life and gave me a really different view of the world going into early adulthood and realizing my impact that I can have as an individual on just even such a small scale, and just some of the experiences that I got to share with people who were also volunteers and then the participants, and seeing that I was able to do some good in their life really made me want to be a better person and better my life for myself at the same time. So that's something that I always encourage people to do, is to, in some way or capacity, when having the opportunity, to take it, because it's, you never know the impact that you can make. No matter how small you think it is in your mind, it is so big to that person.
Mhm. Yeah. And the other thing is even smaller organizations, because one of the other halves of our charity is trying to raise funds for smaller nonprofits that don't have that big reach. I will say
Mhm.
this a million times. We love the Trevor Project. We love those big organizations, but one of the members of our board, Cheeky Magic MTG, she had a local LGBTQ outreach in her area that was getting a lot of their funds taken away because of different circumstances outside of their purview. And that's one of the fundraisers that we did in that initial year, was to, spin up a Magic game. That was the Arch Enemy game that I was talking to you guys about. We raised quite a bit of money to get them up and running, or at least keep them a little sustained, even if it wasn't a ton of money. But it allowed us to, get a smaller organization to at least have some, power and electricity for a bit.
it's incredible.
Now, with Fort Safe for Good, you've kind of mentioned some of the stuff you have done. We talked about the big Gen Con thing coming up that you guys are going to be doing. But what are some upcoming projects we can expect from you and your wife?
So we are going to be doing more fundraising as we go out throughout the year. We are trying to reach out to, I'm there is a Fort Wayne organization that has people giving out meals in superhero costumes. We're going to try and partner with them, probably sometime around the holidays. We are going to be doing another Paint for Good, where we're going to reach out to some of the Warhammer community and doing another painting competition where people can donate. Basically, every dollar donated to a certain artist will be a vote in their favor, and that's how we're going to do one of our prize pools for it. Um, and when we get into December-ish, November-ish, we are going to be planning on doing another donation D&D game where people can mess up our die rolls while we try and stop somebody from like destroying Santa Claus or something. We haven't really hammered that one out yet of where that's going, but always having a Christmas themed D&D game for people to donate to is always a fun opportunity.
Awesome. Have you guys done the Christmas themed D&D game in the past?
We have. We did a thing where rather than manipulating the die rolls or giving people advantage or things like that, we unfortunately decided to eat sour candies and hot candies and things like that to make people just wash our entire faces in as much pain and torture as we could, which is good and terrible. Horrendous. People want to watch you scream. I'll say it that way. But we did that for Toys for Tots that year.
Oh, very cool.
Mhm.
Where can people show their support and learn more about Fort Safe for Good?
You can go to fortsaveforgood.org, which is our official website. It will show you kind of some upcoming projects that we have. It has a donation button saying give advantage, because when you roll with Fort Save, you always give advantage. But we do take donations in to keep ourselves running. We are a 90-10 charity. What that means is that 90% of what we are taking in will always go to whatever cause we're supporting, whatever program we're funding, and only about 10% will keep for the upkeep and maintenance of running the charity, things like keeping the website up, and other things of that nature. So we're trying to do the best that we can without becoming one of those 50-50 charities where it's like, well, we're going to pocket a lot of this.
I know a little bit about that all too well.
Yeah, it's really bad when I believe 60-40 is considered a good charity.
Yeah.
So like if 40% is used for operational cost and 60% goes to the cause, I feel like personally, depending on your operation, I'll say it that way, because depending on your operation, I think that's a little high of a number to be considered a good charity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Worked with quite a big one.
So you were talking about how, and you guys get out into your like out of the world community, and then we have the TikTok community. So this kind of goes for both. What's a moment where community support genuinely surprised you?
More community support genuinely surprised me. I think that initial It Gets Better game that we did. One of the things about walking out, starting out anything new, that first one is always the scariest. But when we had those games, when we put it out there and people came and actually donated directly to our cause, and especially because they wanted to see us in horror, that's always a fun thing. We were thinking like, oh, nobody's going to find us. Nobody's going to do this. We're going to raise like $100. We ended up raising I believe somewhere close to like $850 for Timeout Youth in North Carolina. But that's one thing there. And then I will say almost every month it's an outpouring whenever we do Love Train, because I personally always have that feeling of nobody's going to show up. We're going to make all this and people aren't going to show. And especially since people like really need it, especially during summer. I always feel like we're going to have a drought of people. And last time, Disco Bomb can correct me in the comments, but I believe we had 66 people that actually came in the door to get meals, um, and to, you know, get clothing. Because again, that was when we had that like drop box of like all sorts of jeans and pants and underwear and socks, and it was just a great outpouring. But the people actually coming and wanting to get help, and accepting the help from other people is just a great outpouring.
That's awesome. I've been a big fan, obviously, of everything you've done through Fort Save here on TikTok. Even at MagicCon last second for T-Beard and his friend who was going through a tough time. But to hear that you're doing that monthly community outreach in your local, and you have such a high, you put in such high importance and care, and you know that's huge. I don't think a lot of us get active enough in our local communities, and that's where sometimes we can make the biggest impact.
Mm-hmm. And this is one thing that I will always tell people, even if they feel like they don't, like if they're wanting to donate and help, um, even like a little bit of money to a charity or to a nonprofit that you support is going to be the world to them. Uh, for example, with like our socks and underwear, like socks and underwear that we pick up at Costco to give out to people, even some places like that where it's buy in bulk and buy large is still pretty expensive. Like a 5-pack of underwear for $13 is, nothing to be, nothing to bat your eye at. Like, and to a lot of these people, like having clean underwear, having clean socks, having clean jeans to wear, it's the difference between like, I will say this in the uh, cleanest way possible, but it's the difference from having rashes and things like that build up over time because you can't switch out things as much that we take for granted. Like having a place to live, having the access to clean running water, having the access to go out and pick the different items that we can have is really a luxury that a lot of people don't have.
100%. The taking for granted the simple things like just having access to clean underwear or just being able to wash them when we need to, or the ability to go out and buy it. $13 isn't anything to bat your eye at, but for $13 to a lot of people, that's not a huge thing. But where these people are struggling to get a single meal for the day and their basic needs, that's not something that's on their mind. So
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
well, being someone who is so charitable, you must have gotten some good advice along the way to be the man you are today. What is some of the best advice you've ever received?
Um, I think one of the best things that I was ever told when I was younger was don't try and be the person that other people are proud of. Be the person that you're proud of. So it doesn't matter what people are saying to you. It doesn't matter if somebody puts you down a million times. Um, if you're doing the stuff that makes you proud, keep doing it.
I love that, especially in this. I played with Nuke and Digi last night, and we were talking about how sometimes when content creators start making the content for people, for the audience, not how they want to have the it's not their content. Um, so I really love that advice. I've gotten to a point where I'm trying to do it based off of just what I want to do instead of what the algorithm wants and stuff like that. So I love it. I love that advice.
It's funny because I started off just doing like hack videos and simple like card rankings and stuff like that.
Mm.
Then I decided I wanted to break out of my shell and be a little bit more of a personality on here and people know who I am. So I had to throw on an Appa onesie to do so. uh, but I've been, and then I kind of moved away from that. But a video that I didn't even think about, but I wanted to put out there, which is now one of my more successful videos, is about this past pre-release, about my experience that I had with a newer player
Mm-hmm.
and just my interaction with them. And that was just like, I just want to tell this story. It wasn't like I want this to put this out there to hit the algorithm really well and get a lot of interaction. It was just something I wanted to make for myself to share with someone and hopefully someone learn from it. And now it's one of my more performing well performing videos. So
Mm.
make the content you want to make. It'll come through.
Yep. What or who has been your biggest inspiration in your life?
I think a lot of it is kind of split up between a couple of people. One of my bigger inspirations was my dad, because he was one of those people that told me and showed me to live to be a better person. Um, you know, whether you're in a bad situation or whether you are, going through health conditions, whether you're doing any of those, try and be a little bit better. And then the other half of that is an old friend of mine, Staff Sergeant Bailey, when I was in the military. He was one of those people that taught me not to take shit from other people, and to always try and make sure that he was one of those people that taught me not to take shit from other people, and to always try and make sure that when you're
Make sure if you're going to, you know, fight and stand up for yourself or, move past an obstacle, that you're all prepared to do so.
Sorry, I think there was a little internet connection problem. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Which one? Which one of us?
You in the army story. I'm sorry. I lost
Oh
connection
no,
and I just paused and
it's all good. It's all good. Now we're going back on that whole, like, we just said it calmly, and now we got to
Yep.
think back on what it is. Gotta love content creation, guys. Gotta love it. But no,
Uh,
it was definitely more of something that Staff Sergeant Bailey taught me, was to make sure that when you fight, you have your feet planted, that that things aren't going to be pulled away from you. So again, just making sure that you're secure in your fight before you start throwing those punches.
and I was just telling him, like, a lot of times we just have such a knee-jerk reaction to fight back, even though we might not be prepared or even need to fight either.
Yeah.
Just better understanding our emotions and having a plan of action and understanding to have the proper way to move forward and the proper way to fight back.
Yeah. I'll give a really good example that our community has kind of been rocked with multiple times in the last year, but there are people in our community that are getting unsolicited deck pics, people that are getting harassed in our community, credible harassment claims. I'll say it that way, since I don't know how far any of that went, but it's happened multiple times with multiple people. And the way that we need to do, as fortunately people of our privilege, is start making space for the people that are getting harassed, that are marginalized in our game stores, that are not necessarily protected by just being in an environment of geeks. One thing that we've been trying to do at our LGS is create a more queer, inclusive play space for people that can come learn Magic, not feel threatened, not feel pressured, not feel ostracized for who they are. And again, that's the fight that we need to kind of plan our ground and make sure that we don't have a-holes inside our LGSs. We need to make sure that if we have a-holes in our Discords, in our different groups, that we, one, talk to them about it, make sure that we can coach them on things and not have that behavior. And if they're the type of people that won't take coaching, kick them the heck out.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, with this resurgence of TCGs since COVID, and you know everything gaining in popularities, especially these things tied to IPs. There's a lot of people who want to open card shops. It's awesome. I love it.
Mhm.
I want the access to more awesome game stores.
Mhm.
But I don't think a lot of people understand it like with what you just said. My best friend right now is in the process of working on his own game store, but
Mhm.
he is focusing on like his business mission goal over
Mhm.
than just opening up a game store. His main goal is to provide a safe, constructive place where people can come in from all backgrounds in game and learn TCGs, learn TTRPGs, and just have a
Mhm.
safe space to grow the games they love. So I'm huge supportive of any time when card shops or game stores specifically have that in their like motto and their mission statements to for their businesses.
Love it. Uh, for our last question, what's something your audience can expect from you next?
The next thing that my audience can expect from me is I'll say two things on this. One for the Fort Save side, one for the lot unfinished project side. Um, for the Fort Save side, we are going to be ramping up our outreach to other smaller nonprofits. Zach with T3 MTG is going to help us with getting bulk product out to kids to learn how to play Magic, getting more people into it that way. He's up in the Chicagoland area, and I've hung out with him a couple times in person. Great, amazing person.
Hmm.
Actually, loved running into him at pastimes when we were up there with Voivode and Elegy. He just randomly popped in for their Sunday night, for their Sunday gaming, and it was a lot of fun to just kind of see him there. So, working with other local nonprofits is something that we are going to ramp up and do more of. So you'll see more fundraising, you'll see more of that. And then on the lot unfinished project side, we finally have the setup that I want to do what I like to call bulk yard wars, which is going to be I give people I give two contestants 2 packs of magic cards. They have to make a deck out of those two in the same bulk bin that I'm going to slap right in front of them. They've got 60 minutes to build it, and we're going to see what the
Yes.
best decks that we can do as we're going.
Love it.
Why can I be closer to you? I want to be
That's
in.
so fun.
I'll come out and visit you guys on the West Coast at some point and drag a bunch of people into it.
That's awesome. I love that. That's such a cool idea. I love the name. Love the idea. That's awesome. And for those of you guys who aren't aware, Lot does have a second page here, and I'm sure on other platforms as well. He has, of course, Lot Unfinished Projects, where a lot of us know him through, but also Adam over at Fort Safe for Good. Make sure you guys go give that page a follow, so you can keep up with all the awesome fundraising they do.
Yeah, we just got done with a Painted Lotus crossover over there, where we did a Pride fundraiser,
Mm-hmm.
and we raised $1,100 for making some
Oh,
fun
Love it.
altar art.
That's awesome. Now that we've asked you our questions, we're going to open up the chat for some questions. Now that we've asked you our questions,
Are we back online?
I
Are we
think so.
live?
I hope so. It stopped as soon
Johnny
as
Five is alive.
as soon as you said and then it stopped. And it's down again. Oh my gosh. Gosh.
Magic MTG had to quickly take up the slack on her stream because we had technical difficulties.
Makes sense. But like I said, going into this, I'm usually the one with technical difficulties, not Kevin.
Oh no, did we lose Kevin again?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you hear me? What?
Okay, we can
we
hear
can
you
hear
now.
you.
Cool. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys and I can see you
All
guys
right.
for right now.
Okay, so pineapple on pizza, for those who didn't know, I am okay with pineapple on pizza if they do it right, which means thinly sliced pineapple, not thick cuts that soggy up your dough.
I like that answer.
And the last question, lasagna, warm or cold?
I would say that warm lasagna is the better of the two,
Mm-hmm.
but Chicago deep dish, which is basically lasagna pizza, is perfectly
Okay,
fine to
that's
eat
fair.
cold.
It's funny how you said Chicago deep dips pizza is fine cold, because the reason why all this conversation came up was cold pizza being better than warm pizza.
I think they have their different niches. I'll be a
Mm.
politician on this one because fresh pizza is just great. But when you are like waking up, it's like 6 a.m., you are hungry and need to grab something, that is cold pizza is the breakfast of champions.
Oh, 100%. I said there is something to cold pizza, but it's never better than warm pizza.
Mhm.
But then this person doubled down and said casseroles are also better cold because they have more time to sit in their flavors marry. And I said, so you prefer cold lasagna then? And they were like, nope, warm lasagna. That's crazy. I was like, but it's basically a pizza casserole. So it was such a ridiculous conversation that we have to end every podcast with it now.
Mhm.
It's just fitting
Mhm.
at this point.
We're supposed to be tallying it up. I can't remember. I think I'm winning with the pineapple on pizza.
You are,
And
and,
then-
and it's fine. The argument that the sweet and savory argument is not something that I'm gonna fight against. But I don't think fruit should be cooked.
Nick doesn't like pie. He doesn't like anything with
I don't
fruit cooked.
I don't like cooked fruit.
Do you like Pop Tarts?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I don't think they use actual fruit.
Well, I was building there because you do have breakfast pastries that use real fruit in them. And so
Well,
I'm like,
yeah, but
gateway drug.
Yeah, don't have like
Ooh.
I've had Pop Tarts, but I've never actually toasted a Pop Tart in my
You-
life.
What about the toaster strudels?
I've only eaten them straight out of the bag. Nope, never had a toaster strudel.
Like a monster, just nom, 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 cookie monster mode, just nothing but Pop Tart.
Well, I see. My mom didn't buy those like crazy sugary snacks, so I didn't like have them at home. It was
Mhm.
always something like my friend at school had in his lunch, or I could get out of the vending machine. So I didn't have like a readily available toaster on the go.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know about that. Uh, I don't think that's a thing.
What?
Well, because I like jelly, but jelly's not warm. But it's technically cooked fruit down, right?
It is.
That's room
Jelly is
temperature.
cooked
Unless
There
you.
you go. There you go. I I broke my own argument.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Taking the win column.
Yeah, dude. 20 episodes. Somebody's finally got him.
I did it to myself. What are you talking about? Look, going through, seeing if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, carpools. I know I had another internet goof up.
Yeah, I think that kind of threw off a little bit of it.
Yeah. But again, anybody in the chat, please post questions if you have any. There I see a chef joined. Sketch.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Did
sure.
you, have any questions for us?
Yeah. So, Mix, you said you've only been playing for about 10 years.
Yeah.
What was the set that you started at?
Exelon. The OG
Ixalan,
Exelon.
original Ixalan.
Yep.
Nice.
I started playing Commander. That's what I was introduced into. And I did play a little bit of Standard, but for me, it was just kind of hard to keep up with all the sets coming out and rebuilding the deck. And then it got to a point where I went into the LGS and there was somebody who strictly played Standard. All he did, and so he had money to spend into the cards, and so it didn't make it fun anymore. But yeah, I started playing Commander. And my first deck that I ever built was Itali, Primal Storm, and so that is my go-to. That's my pride and joy deck. I love it, and I've also spent so much time on it too. That's just I'm proud. Yeah. Nick, you've been playing forever.
I got into it, like I said, when I was like in 4th or 5th grade. Avatar Woe and Avatar Might were like the two cards I like most vividly remember, and then would occasionally buy cards throughout. And then I don't know if it was just like it was either on the original Xbox or Xbox 360, but they had the Magic game for Xbox, and my buddy had purchased it through Xbox Live, and we started playing it, and I was like, I kind of miss playing this. And then I remember like every once in a while like being in a Target or being in a game store and like I'm just gonna buy a pack. And then one day I was just like watching, was it MTG Goldfish maybe, or the Star City Games Commander channel, and I was like, maybe I should get back into Magic, and started buying packs, going to the game store that's no longer open, and I started playing Standard. And then same thing kind of happened to me where I was like tired of rotating. I wasn't interested in playing the meta decks. I always played like really funky against the odds decks that Seth Saffron Olive would build. And someone's like, you should come play Commander with us. You don't ever have to change your deck. You can have access to any cards. You don't have to worry about buying cards every time a set comes out.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, well, will you build me a deck? And they're like, well, what's one of your favorite things to do in Magic? And I was like, draw cards? And they're like, okay, here's Nekusar. Have fun being the first person out of your game every time you play Commander because nobody wants to play against it. Here you go. And then I bought the Atraxa Precon and built that into Atraxa Super Friends. And that's kind of where I got into Magic.
Oh, Magic.
He started playing right around Carpool's time too, because he started playing around Portal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nobody said Bumbleflower. Nobody said Bumbleflower.
Who was asking about Bumbleflower?
Mr.
Planeswalker came in and said, "Who said Bumbleflower?"
So this cool thing right behind me is a Eufy E1 printer, and what that does is it allows me to print resin on things.
Oh no!
And knock over shit, but
no.
It also allows me to print on steel.
Ooh.
And I have somebody who is commissioning me a specialized Bumbleflower that they want to make this sized.
Dude.
That's awesome.
That'll be so fun.
No questions here.
It's all good. What is a weird experience that you guys have had at a game store? I say this because when we went up to go visit Frank at Darkside Designs, we tried to find a gaming goat location, and if you guys don't know what happened to all the gaming goats, somebody screwed over all the independent operators, and they're now all independent with a bunch of debt. But we found this place called Georgie's GameSpot, The flooding and the rain in Chicago over that weekend had drowned out their basement. They had lost power in their basement. So everybody was up in their apartment / chill space for the location. And it was the weirdest experience we've ever had going to a game store.
That sounds pretty weird.
Still gotta run business though.
Hey, if we got to support them if they're an LG. They were cool people. I'll say it this way: they were really cool people. But it's one of those things where it's like when you see an LGS and they're cool people, support them if you can.
Yep.
My weirdest LGS experience is probably the funniest LGS experience I've ever had. It was at my old LGS when I was first getting into Magic. And I don't know if we were doing a standard tournament or if it was a pre-release or something, but there was a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh tournament going on simultaneously in the back of the store.
Oh no.
And all of a sudden, we just hear, "Dude, are you serious? What the heck?" And he's like, I'm done. I'm going up to Aaron, who was the manager at the time. And we're like, "What's going on? Like, Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh never gets like this. Like, it's just a bunch of little kids over there." And he goes, "He licked my card."
Oh.
He's like, "What?" And so like he goes over the table and the kid's explaining to him what happened. And he said, and then he just reached over the table, grabbed my card, took out all the sleeve and licked it. And Aaron, without a hitch, just pauses and sighs and goes, "Buddy, you can't lick another person's card." It was just the funniest thing. I don't know why. Till this day, like I'll bust it out in a random. It's just like, "Guys, don't you know you can't lick somebody's card?"
Gosh.
Just
You
can't
can't-
do
They didn't have a sign.
You can't deep throat tongue a lick-a-tongue. That's wrong.
It was just, and so the kid got actually asked to leave the store. It was really funny. It was he had to call his mom from the store phone. It's like, "Mom, I got kicked. I need you to come pick me up. Why? I licked another kid's card." It's like, can't be licking people's cards, guys.
It does look like Mr. Planeswalker does have a question for us. If I can
What
go
do you
back
guys
to it.
think of complaining about the power creep of Marvel set? I'm over here like, bro, there's superheroes there. They're supposed to be busted a bit.
I don't think Marvel was all that busted.
I didn't think either.
I think I'll be a controversial here and say that it was a low-powered set meant to get people in, and it did exactly that. Now there's a lot, and with our magic brains, we can break the shit out of it. But as a set, all by itself, I think it's pretty good. Pretty balanced.
Yeah, I made a little video about it today. I'm pretty medium on the set. Like, I'm not disappointed in the cards at all. The only real disappointment I have was there being like a lack of continuity in the cards and like there being any kind of sort of a story. Like, yeah, they, pull snippets from comic books and make reference to comic book copy or covers, which is really cool, but it just seems really everywhere. I think a lot of people, when the cards were first announced, were like, "Okay, this is busted." But in the 3 weeks it's been out, I haven't seen any Marvel cards like take over by any means. I think some of the pre-cons are pretty good. They're not bad by any means. I've seen the Fantastic Four and the Doctor Doom one, and I like both of them. They're both pretty dang good and strong, but I don't think they're necessarily busted. Like they're, Warhammer 40K decks were really busted. A lot of these universes beyonds are gonna have power creep because it's a universe beyond, and we're talking about other mythical IPs, and they're gonna want people to use those cards to continue the popularity of using IPs. So they're obviously going to be pretty good.
Mr. Planeswalker, mostly the standard crowd I'm hearing complaints about the power from Wakanda and Avengers are mean out the box.
Yep.
And the other two are a bit slower in comparison. Yeah, I
Oh,
can see how
I
standard is hurting.
Mhm.
I played a standard game the other night, and the only new card or cards they used was Shang-Chi and Squirrel Girl. And on turn
Hmm.
3, they had like 16 power on the board with like 14 creatures, and I was like, uh-huh. It's just, huh?
Screw
See,
him and his 10 rings.
I haven't even seen anybody play the 10 rings yet.
No.
Mm. Yep. There are a lot of big splashy cards that are too big and to actually be splashy. Because I feel
I
like
mean,
10 rings, you got to really speed to it.
yeah. I mean, I think Mikey and Raph is almost more broken than any card in this set.
Hmm. It can turn 1 in CEDH.
Yeah. So
Wow.
That head shake going, wow. No,
Wow.
It, hey, it's true.
That's crazy.
Kevin, you like Atali, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I know that does that too.
Yeah, the turn 1 where you get like 4 Atali triggers of the big Atali, not the smaller Atali.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That deck goes burr.
Brr.
If you had to unban one card lot, what would it be?
Uh, honestly, I'm on the side of people. I'm on the Cali Commander crew. Unban Jeweled Lotus. It's a
Yeah.
card that is built for Commander. It is only usable in Commander, and it's meant for like bracket 5 and bracket 4, bracket 5 kind of decks. Uh, unban it. They need to
Yeah.
unban it. Like people should not have done what they did, and that's why it's never getting unbanned, because
Mhm.
people are vile people.
Yeah.
But as for anything else, unban it, because it's just something that only works in one format, really.
Hmm.
Do
That's a
you
good
think
point.
it would be a problem because people do this a lot with current deck building with call like I think it would be pretty hard to build a bracket 3 deck with Jeweled Lotus in it
Mhm.
because you're exponentially accelerating your game plan with Jeweled
I
Lotus.
I'd reshuffle my Alexios deck until I got one mountain and a Jeweled Lotus. I'd go down to 2 cards
Yeah.
to have a turn 1 Alexios. So I am the problem here, but I
But
honestly
you
think that if you're playing it, you're playing bracket 4 or bracket 5. If you
well,
bring it, yeah.
but that's where a lot of people right now I think have an issue with the bracket system
Mhm.
is because everybody forgets about rule 0, and one of the more important rules is intent. What is your intent for your deck?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just look at the, no mass land destruction, no chaining extra turns, and only two, the 2 or 3 game changers, whatever it is, and they go, oh, that meets the criteria.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Intent is kind of like consent. It's when
yeah,
you talk to the people at your table, they've got to consent to you playing that deck. If you go in and I'll say it this way: it's kind of like how everything used to be a power level 7 back in the old
yeah,
Commander terms. Everything was a 7. What do you mean? This is definitely a 7. It's not a 7. You don't know how to build a deck, or it's not a 7. It's a 10. You
Hmm.
just turn 1 us.
yeah.
So when thinking
Oh, I
about it,
best hand, like the absolute best hand I possibly could. Like, well, that's something you should probably state that, hey, if I have an ideal hand, I can win on turn 1. That's
oh yeah,
something you should probably, clarify about your deck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think a bracket 2 can have a perfect hand syndrome. Like I think that's possible
Hmm.
too. It's just how you intend to play that deck.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing a bracket 2 and you're playing it like it's a bracket 2, you internally shift your mindset away from I'm going to win as quickly as possible to, oh, maybe I can get my cool thing off this game.
Mhm.
Yep.
Whereas when you're bracket 4, bracket 5, and you get that perfect hand, you're like, cool, I'm going to win turn 2. You know, I
Yep.
can Thoracle on turn 2 and win the game right now.
Well, even things simple like for me, my Ureni the Unwritten deck, it's an upgraded precon.
Yeah.
But it's all ramp and all dragons. I don't run removal, I don't run counter spells, but
Mhm.
everybody knows it's a strong deck, and Ureni has a strong ability.
Yep.
So technically, it is a bracket 2 by, it doesn't have any game changers, doesn't run any
Mhm.
infinite turns or anything like that. It is
Yep.
dragon, tribal, and ramp. So guys, this is a bracket 3 that I feel comfortable playing in a bracket 4, even though this is technically a bracket 2. Like,
Yeah.
I will ramp to Ureni by turn 5 at the latest, and you will have to deal with it, or else I'm going to have a bunch of dragons and we're going to have problems.
Yep. Uh, Carpools, I can't tell you the number of times I've been pub stomped only to be told that it was anomaly, but they're playing all the best cards.
Mhm.
I will say Carpools has a really great league that I participated in a couple of seasons of. It's amazing to be able to bring a precon and shape it week by week in that league. I just wanted to give you that shout out because it is a lot of fun.
Mm.
She doesn't have any game changers. The lie detector says that was a lie.
So,
Need a Maury
you
sketch
are
of
the problem.
you are the problem.
I want to do that skit now.
So there's a skit that I've wanted to do for a while, but I need to do it. There's an old card called Goblin Games. I don't know if you guys have ever played it before, but the way that it works is when you play Goblin Games, you hide a bunch of cards or you hide a bunch of things, and then you reveal them, and the person who reveals the most takes a certain amount of damage, and loses half
Yeah.
their life rather than anything else. But it's a chaos game. But I was thinking, so you go and you play the card. It's the whole setup, and it's like, haha, Goblin Games. I'm revealing 4 cards. I'm revealing this many cards. I'm revealing this one. And then the next, it just goes to a guy driving out into the middle of nowhere, and then he just starts digging up a body. That's just how it ends. His shovel hits ground.
Ah, that'd be fun.
All the all the dragons are not game changers. They're just dragons.
They're
Just flying
dragons.
dinosaurs.
Are there any game changer dragons? I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Like a lot of game changers are you manipulating the game in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Until recently, Trouble in Paris was on that list, and it was all about kind of getting the advantage that other players are getting. But Smothering Tithe is on there, where it's like as people are drawing additional cards, you're making treasure tokens. A lot of the game changers are like that. I don't feel like there are very many creature-based game changers.
I was just gonna say, I think there was maybe 5, but I'm checking right now. Well, before I tell you, how many creature game changers do you think there is?
I'm gonna guess creature-based, and by this I mean like it functions as like a typal deck. I'd say there are probably like 4. If we're talking about creatures on the game changer list, I think we're closer to like 7 or 8.
We are at 10.
10. Okay, so I'm a little off.
Yeah, there's 10. That's more than I thought.
But I bet you all of those will have a secondary effect where they will either
Yeah.
like win you the game or do something like that.
There's Draneth Magistrate, which is oppressive, doesn't allow people to cast their commanders or
Mhm.
anything from their hand, obviously.
Mhm.
Con Sphinx, so card advantage.
Mhm.
Thassa's Oracle,
Yep.
win the game hard. Braid's Cabal Minion, which just got unbanned and put onto the Game Changers list
Yep.
for obvious reasons. Opposition Agent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Orcish
control.
Orcish Bowmasters, which is control and advantage because you're it does a lot of things.
Yeah.
Turgrid,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
making people
Take your
start
stuff.
getting everything. Yep.
Yep.
Seaborn Muse, which leads to just exponential value.
Mm-hmm.
And Grand Arbiter, and one that I didn't think was on this list.
What's the last one?
Notion Thief.
Notion Thief is now a game changer? That's weird.
Wait. I'm on the original Hull Breacher took off the game changer list? Oh no, it's just straight up banned. That's why.
Yeah, Hull Breacher is banned. That is so I can mill you out and make 1 million treasure tokens. I have a combo for that if it was legal.
I need Hull Breacher back. I pulled a full art foil one right a week before it got banned.
Mm.
I need it back in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the your opponents don't draw cards, you get treasure tokens for them. It's crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh no! I'm telling you, I have a way of making it crazy. I love it. But
I know it's crazy. It's stupid. I love it though.
I kind of want
Just
to
get a
play
little-
with like only banned cards, and not like the terrible banned cards that are banned for a correct reason. I'm talking about like all the ones that are on there that are because they were like, this is anti-fun. I'm like, what is one of those decks like?
Oh, you just play Grand Arbiter, and I'll tell you that. It's just that for me, buddy. I hate that card with a passion. Let me play Magic.
No.
Mr. Planeswalker, are you saying those cards should be on the Game Changers list or banned? Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, and Atali Primal Conqueror.
I did finally get the Jace Wielder of Mysteries pop off, which is the no, maybe it's Wielder of Secrets, the one where when he ultimates, the first spell cast by any of your opponents each turn is countered.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? There's the Jin Kataxis does that too, right?
One of them may do that. I do not remember.
Yeah, the blue one.
Well,
They're all blue.
Well,
the newer one. The newer one.
New blue Ginger Taxes.
yeah, from a Kamigawa.
I think so.
Well, the newest one was the one that had the saga on the back from March of Machines. But I'll have to look it up. Gingivitis is a fun card, though.
I'll be right back, gentlemen. I gotta run and use the bathroom.
Magic Mommy, each of y'all should build a deck that has banned cards and play each other. That would be
I would totally play that.
Yeah.
It would be dumb.
How many banned cards do you own?
I own a Hull Breacher, the Jeweled Lotus. It was banned until recently. I had the Biorhythm. But those are the main ones that I have that are banned right out.
I don't know if we all have that many banned cards.
I can probably find some relatively easily.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've got a really good relationship with my LGS and
You got connections?
got connections.
Nice.
Get Rent-A-Decks.
Mm-hmm.
You have Emrakul. Oh, right. That Emrakul is banned. Right. I forgot about Emrakul being banned. Yeah, we could also proxy. We do know a lot of good proxies.
We could. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
I do also have... I'm thinking of like things banned in like standard because I have Cauldron, which got banned. I have what is it? The dagger that has prowess on it that makes a prowess monk. From Dragons of Tarkir or Tarkir Dragonstorm. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Wait.
I would totally play a full proxy deck of just banned cards. Legitimate banned cards, and when I say legitimate banned cards, I mean ones that are banned for fun reasons and not ones that are banned for racist reasons.
Yeah.
Because we are never bringing those cards back. That was dumb.
Mm-hmm. A fully decked out banned proxy deck battle.
Corey Steelcutter, thank you, my love.
Let's see games played with banned cards to actually see why they are banned.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I will crack out a Hull Breacher deck and show you why it's no fun for anybody, not even the person playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I showed a Bant combo. Earlier I had posted up some pictures of a Bant combo, and with Fairy Mastermind, Kinnan and Smothering Tithe.
Okay.
And what you do is when everybody draws a card, Smothering Tithe will generate a treasure token for each person who drew that card. So you can generate infinite mana. Kinnan will double up your mana generation from treasure tokens. Thus, you can trigger Fairy Mastermind again. So it creates this loop of just nasty infinite draw for everybody. And you'll eventually draw into your answer, your win con, or you'll mill everybody else out first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just pass your turn.
Pass.
Yep.
Now I have a question about that interaction.
Mhm.
Treasures don't work with Kinnan, don't they?
They do.
Because-
It's a non-land mana source.
But the activation to get the mana is sacrificing it.
Tap sacrifice.
Does that work?
It does. So let me actually pull this up again real quick, just so I can confirm with Kinnan, because I love Kinnan. He was part of my Pride deck. Kinnan and Redshift. Turn 2, you can get your entire deck onto the battlefield.
Ooh, that's gross.
Yeah, it is. It is disgusting, and we decided not to play it during the Pride event because it was too strong. We're like, I walked in here with an accidental bracket 5. I'm sorry, guys. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. By tap sacking, it produces the mana from tapping.
Doesn't it trigger as soon as you tap it though? So before
it's
you
part of
before
the,
you
the
sacrifice
full activation.
It?
It's part of the full activation is what it sees.
No, I'm trying to look. Oh, I have a treasure token.
I had looked this up the other day to verify it.
Tap, sacrifice this token, add 1 mana of any color.
I'll have to do more research on that because that's disgusting. I have a Kinnan deck.
Okay, so as this, you're tapping a permanent for mana only if you're activating a mana ability of a permanent that includes the tap symbol in its cost. Because a treasure token, you are tap and sacrificing it, it qualifies to double the mana for Kinnan. Meaning that if you're playing Kinnan and only producing 1 mana with your treasure tokens, unfortunately you're selling yourself short.
I don't run treasure tokens, so because I didn't think it interacted that way. So
yep. It's also double banana tokens.
Ooh.
Because remember, bananas tap and sacrifice for you gain 2 life and you generate a mana.
Green or white, or green or red.
Green or red.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody that can
fun.
incorporate the monkey, banana tokens will also generate you an additional mana.
I might have to throw Kinnan in my tribal deck just because I have Kibo in there.
Yes.
So what do you guys think about all of the cool cards that came out in Jumpstart. And this is not just for Marvel superheroes, but each of the Jumpstarts, because there have been really cool cards in each Jumpstart thing that they've done since 2022. And it's really hard to grab those cards.
Nick made a video about it today, right? And
Yeah.
I agree. It's good and bad, and I can also understand Wizard of the Coast trying to like promote the set or the box. But yeah, it is pretty difficult to go through it. And then like, most of the time, people get the box and they just have a bunch of bulk left over because they're just chasing after those cards. Well,
Now, do
Individually
you
to
guys
get that organized. But I've noticed the same thing. Like originally, the Jumpstart product wasn't too great as far as polls go, and it was a beginner product to get people to learn the game, to be able to play the game without having a pre-existing deck, which is really, really cool. I think it's an awesome tool for parents to use to teach their kids. But I think it was the product that they wanted to get new players into the game, but new players weren't using it to get into the game. There were collectors hunting for certain cards. And so they went, oh, how can we make that even better and turn more product over for those people, since those are the people who are buying it? Let's put really good cards in these sets that you can't get anywhere else. So, I mean, I went through my first box. I didn't pre-order a Jumpstart box. I pre-ordered one Play Booster box and got one from my LGS on pre-release day. But since then, I have not been able to find one under MSRP, at MSRP, or one in the wild at all. So I'm really regretting not picking up that product.
we
Majority
got
of the
one
cards I wanted from that set.
Yeah, we were looking for Lucky the Pizza Dog, so I picked up from my LGS one of the boxes of the Jumpstart. But we also had the intention that we are going to use it as a product to help other people learn Magic, because again, it's so easy to just grab, shuffle, and play.
Yeah.
But then also we get cool cards like Lucky the Pizza Dog, and we got, what is it? Squirrel Girl, and what is her squirrel's name? I can't remember her squirrels. But we got that in one of them, and that was fun because it gave a really fun squirrel-based deck for them to build off of.
I think it would be a good idea for LGSs to like run. Well, WotC probably should entice LGSs to run Jumpstart events.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to do that.
One of the cooler things about going to a Gen Con or going to any of the Magic Cons is they do have like pick-up Jumpstart games where you can just sit down at the table. They'll give you a couple of Jumpstart packs and you play, which is always a fun experience at a con because normally it's free.
Are you what is the like dispersion of different like games, or is there like everything you can possibly imagine? Is it majority TTRPGs? Is it more mainly TCGs? What do you see when you go to those bigger cons?
So with Gen Con, it is the biggest tabletop role-playing convention, board game convention, role-playing convention. So we have a lot of Magic, we have a lot of other TCGs, and then we have so many board games.
Sorry, guys.
The best description that I content creator area, two play spaces, things like that, really big, massive area, that would be packed wall to wall with gaming booths of people advertising new games, old games, all sorts of stuff. Games that you will find once and never again because they only made enough for their first initial print run, and then they weren't successful afterwards, so you'll never find that game again. You'll find artists and amazingly talented people. But imagine all of that just packed in. We're talking like over 50,000 people a year going to this convention on one day. And the rest of the convention goes through like 5 different hotels. Our football stadium, the main floor gets turned into a Magic playing space.
That's awesome.
So we're talking the field itself is covered with pastimes groups. Those were the people that were running the convention games in Vegas that are playing standard, that are playing random commander, where they'll give you a random pre-con commander deck, where they'll be running the Grand Prix, the GQ or whatever it's called now.
That's very cool.
So very, very cool. This year I'm gonna try and do a video that's just one continuous running up and down the dealer hall, like showing like the traffic mess, and it will make people claustrophobic with how many people are there.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Seeing if anybody had more random stuff. Do you guys have any like big conventions in your area? Because I know FanX is in your neck of the woods over in Utah.
Yep.
I have a cousin over there who loves going to it.
Yeah. I think it's in October. Yeah.
There's some pretty significant stuff that's further south for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was that one that was just recently Mark Hamill was at? What was that? Oh.
It wasn't
Navy Cow.
Emerald Simi, was it?
No, Navy Cow tried to get me to go. It was in Anaheim. What was it called?
Was he at Anime Expo? Because that was literally last weekend. There are so many conventions nowadays.
Yep.
And so many good conventions. I'll say it that way. There are a lot of good ones.
It was Fan Expo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have some big cons that happen down in San Diego. I will avoid LA at all costs, though.
Yep.
I cannot do it. I was thinking about going to the cookout, the one that Joe does from Table Talk Jocks. But again, I didn't want to go to LA. So,
I wish I lived closer to stuff like that because, man, the Midwest is kind of barren with people. And that's why I was trying to make more connections with people up in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
We have like I said, a lot, even the like creators are more down south. Navy Cow is actually really close to me. He's just a few cities away, maybe about 15, 20 minutes or so. So not super far. Well, chat, do you have any last questions for Adam before we let him go? Adam, I want to thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us. You've been on the list for quite some time. We're really glad that we got to meet and interact with you at MagicCon. What you're doing for the community, like I said, and you do it at the drop of a hat with your abilities to reach out to everybody and, help people out in the time of need. We all really appreciate it from a community standpoint. What you do continuously out throughout the year without us even watching or noticing. Kudos to you. That takes a special person to take up that mantle and that lifestyle. And thank you for doing it, because not enough people do.
And
Well, thanks for having me.
thank you to your wife as well. I know she's here.
Yes.
She's part of it too.
Oh
Shine
yeah,
out, shiny disco bum.
Yes.
You guys should go
I better have.
You should go check out her page too. She does magic
Mhm.
content, but also does a lot of cool collectibles like D&Ds and little chachis and stuff like that. So if you have a little one that's interested in that stuff, they might like watching her videos as well.
Before we go, say Adam again where everybody can find you.
All right, so you guys can find me on TikTok and on Instagram, Law Unfinished Projects, Lord of the Unfinished Project. You can find Fort Save for Good on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, as well as our site, fortsaveforgood.org. One thing I forgot to shout out there, if you have somebody who has either survived or passed away from cancer, we are looking for heroes to put into our Gen Con games, as each one of them are actually people that we are spotlighting that have formerly either battled with cancer or survived it to tell their stories. But yeah, that's all the different places that you can find me.
Everywhere. Well, thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you guys again
Yeah, go ahead.
for watching. No, I'm all messed up now.
No. Thank you everybody for watching. Glad you guys can be here to hang out with us and listen to and learn Adam's backstory. So that the whole channel is about is learning everybody and what they do outside of the content and everything they do in the content too, and everything we just don't see behind the doors. So thank you so much for hanging out and appreciate it, and see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.